In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how we can create this text animation inside Canva, and I'm using the new video editor. I'm going to start off on the home page and we're going to click on video, and I'm going to open up a blank mobile video template, and I'm just going to rebuild this with you as I did originally. So first of all, I'm going to click the plus button so we can add a blank canvas. I'm going to go into this timeline and just going to zoom right in because we're going to have really short transitions, so I want to be able to edit these easily. I'm just going to quickly make the background a dark colour. Now I've just added some text here, the word hi, and this font is Tropicana. This is one of my own brand fonts that I've uploaded to Canva. But to add that dropping ball animation to the word hi, I am going to have to add a little box here. Just go to elements, and I'm going to go to shapes. And I'm just going to add this blank, and then I'm just going to click on it. I'm going to make it the same colour as the background by using my dropper tool. So this then leaves me the space to add the drop circle. So staying in shapes, I'm going to click on the circle. And I'm going to change it to a nice bright colour so we can really see it. I'm going to use my pink and zoom in a little. So once we get it to the size we want it to be, I'm going to grab the rectangle and the word hi, and I'm going to group the elements. And I'm doing this so that when I animate it at the very start of the animation, they'll animate at the same time. If we don't group them, then things will appear at slightly different timing. So I'm going to make this about 1.5 seconds in length for this page. And you'll notice that the circle is now far too long. I don't want it to appear way past this scene. So also the hi. This is a bit tedious. We do have to keep adjusting the timeline like this. If we select the hi, we're going to go to animate, and I want it to fade in, and I just want it to fade in on enter. So now if I drag this back to the start, we can now see that this is fading in. This circle, we don't want it to be here obviously at the start, so I'm going to drag this timeline so it appears later on. So we've got the hi fading in on its own. I'm going to move this up to the top up here and go into animate. And this time I'm going to go to create an animation, and I'm going to hold down shift and I'm going to drag it so it stays in a straight line, and I'm going to move it up and down a couple of times before we stop it where it wants to be. And now you can change this slightly, so I'm going to go to smooth so it's not quite as jerky. Click done. And now if I go back to the beginning and press play, we can see the hi appears, and then we've got the bouncing ball effect come in. So that's us got our first part of the animation done. If we select 3 wee dots, I'm just going to click duplicate. Now this just copies the actual background frame. It doesn't duplicate the text and things on top because they are now on separate layers. So with this next scene, I'm just going to have this be 0.5 seconds in length. And on this page, you can go to your text bar and you can add your text box and type in the word you want to animate and any font that you want. I'm just going to make this sure this is lined up in the centre. And again, I'm just going to use one of my own brand fonts here called California. And again, you'll see it automatically brings in the text for 5 seconds, so you're always going to have to go and drag this back so it's only displayed in the frame you want it to be. Then we just add our animation. We're going to go down to wipe, and I want it to be on both this time because I want it to appear on and appear off just really, really quickly. And again, I like to just go by the different timeline. I just like to hover across to make sure the animation is working the way I want it to. Then duplicate for the next one. It doesn't automatically copy across your text, so I'm just going to Command C and Command V, or you can right click and you can copy paste the text layer. And I'm going to keep the same animation, and again you'll see when you click on these it hasn't copy and pasted it exactly in the middle. And an easy way I find to get them to perfectly align with each other is if you slightly overlap them, then you can line them up exactly on top of each other and then just slide this back. I'm going to change the text, and I want them to have the same animation, but we can change the direction. So if we go back to fonts, and instead of it appearing from the left, I'm going to have it appearing up the way, and then the word to will be coming in from the left. And I'm going to slightly reduce its length as well to 0.4 because it's a shorter word and it can be a quicker animation. And then we'll duplicate again. And again, we're using, so keeping the same font, same size, we're just mixing up the animations here. And this time I go to Animate, I'm going to go down to Pop. And it's really good to just use a mix of different animation techniques. This is what makes it look really dynamic when it's fast, it's flowing, and it's quick. It looks really nice. I'm going to keep it on both and keep it on medium. And again, if I slide back and now play this for you, well, this one felt a bit slow, so I might just speed this up a wee bit. And again, this is where we can keep adjusting it, and just then you need to line up the words again above it when you shorten the length of the frame, and that's much faster. That's great. And we're just going to duplicate, so we've got our next frame. So we're going to go back to our text box. I'm going to go for my heading font, and I'll just size up a bit. Type in our word. Now this time I'm going to actually add a little bit of space at either side of the word, and you're going to understand I'm going to do this shortly because I'm going to use the match and move transition for this one. Okay, I'm just lining that up in the middle, and then I can move this one back so we don't see it. Now, as you know, match and move transitions now work differently. So I'm going to show you how we're going to make this match and move work. So on this last frame, we have the word text, which is the final place it's going to be. But I want you to drag the text layer back to the previous frame, and then we're going to find the middle point. I'm going to right click and I'm going to split that text layer. So now it's on this previous page, but now we're going to move it and we're going to slide it across. And this is why we need the extra space at either side of the word. So the word is completely hidden, but the frame is still on the page. Because if we move this completely off the page, then we're going to lose that layer. That'll just disappear. So we need that extra space to get it to work. So now when I add the transition of match and move, you will see that that text now appears and crosses over into the next frame, and it perfectly centres it for us. So that's how we get that match and move technique to work. Then again, I'm going to add another frame. I'm going to drag the text across so that it's still appearing on the next frame. I'm going to use match and move again to get it to move. So I'm going to find the middle, I'm going to split it. And I need to make sure that I'm selecting the right text layer and not the previous one. I'm going to move it up slightly. I'm going to shrink it down in size, like so. And then go back in, match and move, and add a transition again. And now what you'll see is it's now shrinking down in size and moving slightly up the page. On this same frame, I'm going to add another text box with just the letter spacing a little bit for this one. And I'm going to go to Effects, and I'm going to outline the text and reduce the thickness, and then make sure it's perfectly centered. Now I need to add animation for this one. I'm going to use Rise, just on Enter and in the upwards direction. And now what you'll see lastly, I haven't adjusted this text layer, so line it up and then drag it back in. So again, if we just scroll through the animations, you can see we've got each one working in place, and I do find it's much easier to just build these animations as you go along rather than building out the whole design and then adding the animations in last. I find it easier doing it step by step because then you can tweak and fix as you go along and you're not having to repair the whole animation itself. So duplicate, and for this one I want to keep the text that we have from the previous page, so I'm just going to drag the text for animation and text across so that it appears in both frames. And the animation I'm going to add here is a kind of colour block to appear behind the word animation. So if I copy this text and using 3 dots, I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to go to Effects and remove the hollow so it's solid and change the colour to the pink. And then I'm going to line it up exactly on top of the outline text, but then move this layer down so it sits underneath. So making sure I've got the pink text selected, I need to remove the animation that was there before because we've duplicated it from the other one. And we're going to use the white transition on Enter, make it slow. And now at the moment it's appearing at the same time as the outline text. So again, we have to slide the timeline bar so that it appears once the outline text is in place and then starts to come in. And I'm going to make this one slightly longer so we can slow down the animation and it doesn't appear as fast. So if I make this about 0.8 and then slide these along so it matches the length of the frame, then we can see that animation, if I just play it, works its way in. So you can see how I'm constantly adjusting the layers above and the frames and the frame lengths to really get this animation to work. And the reason that I also like to duplicate the previous frame is, see if I just press the plus button to add a blank media page, what it then does is adds like a 5-second frame, which then ends up becoming just more work to constantly reduce the length of it. So I find that by duplicating the page from here, it gives you that same short length and it's much easier to edit. So again, move this in back to 0.4, bring in a new text box. I'm going to use the animation stomp for this one because I want this to be quite a big dramatic animation. And this one comes right outside the page. And I want it to just be on enter. And then duplicate the frame. And this time I will drag the word frame out so that it stays on the frame and doesn't disappear. Now this font that I've added in is called Jonathan. And we are going to add a neon effect to this text, which you can find in effects and it's neon. And then I'm going to change the angle of it. And then I'm going to animate this in. And we'll use a typewriter effect for this one. And then I'll need to adjust the timing so it appears at the right moment. So once this is fully in, then we can have the next effect coming in. I'm just going to up the intensity up to about 88% of this as well. And once again, let's duplicate the frame, drag both across so they both stay on the frame, but we need to split the word this so that we can change the animation and it doesn't just repeat the same one. And this time for animate, remove the existing animation that's there and scroll down to flicker this time so that we go from the typewriter effect to the flicker, and we need to increase the length of the last frame so that the flicker effect happens several times. And so we just change this to 2 seconds and then drag your text layers across so that they appear for the full length as well. So if I adjust this back down, you can now see all the animations and layers that we have in place for this effect. And so if I just take this back to the beginning and play it, we can now see all the animations and different text effects have all come together to create this really lovely but simple text animation. I hope you enjoyed. If you get any other questions, things you'd like to see, just let me know.